Hello everyone, Jimi Hendrix here. This is episode 144. My conversion story. Roots and all. Here. Right here on Empower Your Pattern. You know, I kind of feel called to forego the music today. I know that that's not normal, but I feel like sometimes in this crazy world, what is normal? So, I'm going to talk to you guys about something I have a firm belief in. It's something I have a firm belief in, that I follow and trust with all my heart. We're going to talk about my conversion story, how it started. Now, you're probably wondering, why are we going to faith all of a sudden? All of a sudden, talking about your religion, we were doing well, talking about entrepreneurship. But this is going to lay the groundwork for some future episodes to come. Alright, that's just me being as bluntly honest with you as I can. Because I think sadly faith has been co-opted and cast out by our reactive culture who wants to remove God from the public square. And that's what this season, Conquest of Truth, is all about. Now, those of you who are just tuning in, you're probably wondering, what is this Conquest of Truth inspired by? I'll tell you. It's inspired by the Christian artist Carmen. But people want to turn off faith in this reactive culture kind of like this. Alexa, turn off kitchen.
Okay.
See what I mean? Our reactive culture wants to turn off faith like it's a switch. And so we're in the pattern library. We're talking about this. We're talking about faith. We're talking about faith, and so what can I say? Faith is very important, especially when it comes to this reactive culture that demands a response of every turn. And guess what? It means casting out faith. And so you're probably wondering, well, Jimmy, okay, fine. May 1997. My buddy Keith is sleeping. I'm talking to his mother. For the sake of this, we'll call her Sister Moore. And she says this. She says, we're talking about the church's, what is right and everything. And she says this, and I remember this as long as I can remember. Jimmy, every church is going to say that they are right. But it's up to each of us to determine what is right for us. Okay? And she was right. I mean, let's face it, I knew she was right. She told me, she said, what you need to do is pray. Pray for divine guidance to help you out. She said that back in May of 1997 and June of 2000. Well, May of 1997 is pretty obvious because I was going through my 9-month depression. And she knew something was not right with me. Okay? Now, to be honest with you, back then I was searching for answers. And the strange thing is, my buddy Keith knew it. My buddy Keith knew it. And since he knew it, it was important for me to be grounded in my own conversion. You see, faith is one of the biggest success patterns that there ever is, okay? We can't walk in blind when it comes to faith. And that's why, as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I stand with the truth. Because Jesus Christ, He's my provider. And He lifts me to a higher point in my life. And see, one of the things that Keith's mom was fond of saying, you know, everybody's trying to say which religion is false religion. But only you can know for yourself. And one of the things I loved about what she said, you know, back around that time, my friend Brad was really against the church. And she was telling me about how crazy it was to believe people like Brad and Jim Bob who were so reactive. The thing was, I had so many fears. I had so many fears that in many ways, unfortunately, I couldn't see those. I couldn't see those. I had to find out for myself what truth really was. Because otherwise, if you don't find out for yourself what truth is, and how it's not necessarily in a something, it's a somebody. It's a somebody. And that somebody, whether you want to agree with this, or like this or not, that somebody is Jesus Christ, okay? Whether you want to agree with it, or like it or not. I'm just stating things from a matter of fact. Alright? Now, the conversion story was pretty interesting. Of course, I'm covering 1997, but we're gonna dig a little bit deeper so that you know probably the complex quest of truth. Even back in 1997, even though I didn't want to admit it to all my friends back then, I was searching. And the thing is, friends like Keith knew that I was trying to find out what truth was for myself. You know, like during my time of depression, my friend Kevin, he's like, Jimmy, you got to decide what kind of day you had. And he would read me a story from 1 Samuel 17 where David, he just woke up and decided he was tired of his people Israel being picked on. So he decided he was going to go and put with a stone and 2 slings, you know, a sling and 2 stones, just put a little double whammy on Goliath. But, you know, we think that the story of Goliath is all cool and everything, and it is. But here's the beauty of it, okay? Here's the beauty of it. We get to decide how our day gets to be because of our faith. Okay? Now back then, I wasn't really all that interested reading the Book of Mormon, even though Keith, bless his heart, he was working on me. But I felt like with my conversion at that time that would be disgracing my grandmother's memory. And he said, but Jimmy, she already knows. She already knows. And so that, I have to be honest with you, that gave me hope. That gave me hope. And it's something to be very grateful for. Is a chance to have the hope and faith, to find out what truth is for yourself. You know? Because the adversary through this reactive culture cannot and will not touch you unless you agree to let him. Okay? But that's the thing. You can't agree to let him. Now I know I've talked quite a bit about entrepreneurship and everything, and we'll still deal with it at some point, but let's face it. Today it's faith, because I really think this time and age, I've started a new news-related podcast. I'm being the voice for it, of course, but it's a friend of mine, a long-time friend of my alter egos, named Brent Clark, who has a more objective/conservative, but it's more proactive and not reactive. Because if you get reactive, it takes faith out, and it scares people. So you need to have one thing that's a heart of Empire You're Having is you need to have more of a faith-filled, proactive perspective. If you ever have any hope at all of being the significance and the success that God's called you to be, okay, that is just speaking the truth, okay? Because the thing is, it isn't just because of what I learned from my ex-wife Chris, okay? It isn't just because of what I learned from her. It's because, quite frankly, people like Keith, people like his sweet mother, gave me the pointers that I needed to be an absolute success in my faith. Because, yes, I talk about entrepreneurship, but faith is a huge part of what I do. Okay? It's revolutionary. You know? People talk about, evolution. How about revolution? Okay? It's kind of like the Christian artist Jeff Moore. One thing that he is fond of, there's a song that he has I'm very fond of called, it's called I Believe in Evolution, but if you listen closely to the words, it says, I believe in evolution, the changing of the heart, renewing of the mind is the only true solution, and then that is revolution. According to, I'm not talking about reactive revolution, no. It's a quiet, proactive revolution of faith. It's a cheerfulness revolution. We got too much stuff to be depressed about, okay? And I'm just being honest with you, this COVID thing is being annoying. I think people are getting tired of hearing about it. I believe in keeping in track of the news, but like I said in episode 142, and that's just, okay, that's, honest to goodness, my firm belief is that we are called to be revolutionary in having a proactive faith. Because our reactive culture, for one thing it loves to do, is bounce us back. It wants us to bounce us back and keep us down. And so, the one thing that we need to do is have some proactivity. Because if we don't, we're going to get knocked down, okay? We're going to get knocked down.